Joining me now, Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, Mr. Finance, the new Senate Finance Chairman, who was in the Oval Office when the president met yesterday with key Democrats, with all of the key chairmen and the leadership. First of all, congratulations. And I'm talking too fast to rush through because we have half a show or three-quarters or one-quarter of a show because of all the breaking news. But I want to get your take on these possible compromises on COVID relief. They don't want to reduce the dollar value of the check, but they are willing to target it. Are you, first of all, willing to go along with that? Do you think that that is something that would be acceptable to the Democratic
First of all, Andrea, the American people are strongly behind the basic provisions of this legislation. You know, the help with vaccinations, the help with unemployment, state and local aid. We're going to be going to bat for small businesses. So in a lot of ways, the only place that these issues are divisive seems to be in the United States Senate. The American people are with us. Now, the president, and we saw this yesterday when we were all at the White House, to his credit is saying, look, I will always talk. But we also remember what happened in 2009 when people said, oh, you could go small and you could get another bite at the apple. And then the next bite doesn't come. We've got people hurting now. We're going to make sure they get help. And here's the date to watch for, Andrea. The March 14th date, the middle of March, is when once again, because of Mitch McConnell, the unemployed fall over a cliff. So we've got to get this package really out and on its way early in March to make sure that unemployed folks, people who've been laid off through no fault of their own, aren't hurt again.
Of course, there was backing from the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen today. She was on ABC saying that this COVID crisis is as serious an economic crisis as any she's seen in her lifetime. I just want to play a short clip.
Seeing long lines of people waiting to get food around the country is something we should never see in the United States. We're faced with not one but two crises, a pandemic that has impaired the health of Americans and an economic crisis that is as serious as any I've seen in my lifetime.
So that certainly supports getting the money out there. But what about the argument by Republicans, and a couple of Democrats, that you shouldn't be giving this amount to, this $1,400 to wealthy people, that it's a waste of money?
Yeah, the president has consistently said, and I, as the senior Democrat in the Finance Committee, we've all been negotiating with the moderates. But sometimes in discussions, particularly with Republicans, you get the sense they are stalling for the sole purpose of stalling. And we've got to get this passed and into law. So we're going to continue, in effect, to keep the talks going. That's a track that the president has encouraged. I'm with him. But we're also going to make sure that we're going to get this done. And I'll just give you an example. I wrote the law in the spring for an extra $600 in unemployment benefits and covering gig workers and others for the first time. Now we have actually more virus cases. We've got a floor of 400, and then we're going to try to make sure we can, in the future, tie the benefits to economic conditions on the ground. So we're trying to work very closely with senators on the other side of the aisle and our colleagues who are making suggestions with respect to various issues that are certainly economic, but we're keeping those $1,400 checks.
And what about the minimum wage? There's no argument, really, that it needs to be raised. It's been too low for too long. Many states have done it on their own. But there is an argument that it doesn't belong in budget reconciliation, and that could delay getting the rest of the package passed. Are you willing to forego that in the short term?
Here's my take. First, I do support it. The bottom line for the economy in a macro sense is once people get vaccinated, we're going to see opportunities in the economy open up. I think people ought to be able to make a wage they can live on. So that's what's driving us for the increase in the minimum wage. I support
it. Quick question about Defense Secretary Austin issuing the 60-day stand-on. Do you think that this will really be adequate to address the problem we saw even arguably on January 6th of extremism and white supremacy in the military among some who were veterans in that mob?
I am all behind General Austin in his actions to fight extremism. And, the fact is, for all of us who were there that day and we saw the horrifying events, it was an attack on democracy. It was also an attack on our national security, because if domestic terrorists, and I define those as people who are trying to use intimidation, physical force to obtain a political goal, if they're able to have their way with us, that will threaten national security.
Senator Ron Wyden, great to see you. Our first interview as the chairman of finance. I hope it's the first of many. Thanks very much, sir.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.